Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, who is leading the investigation against Donald Trump, the electoral scheme, the fake electoral scheme, she has just said, yeah, we're going to lock some people up. Yeah, some people are going to get indicted. They're going to go to jail. They will likely go to prison. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically her sentiment. Let's put up a picture. District Attorney Fani Willis, who is in charge of the grand jury investigation into the fake electoral scheme coordinated by Trump and members of his executive surrogate team. In an update, the Georgia DA finds credible allegations that serious crimes have been committed in Trump election fraud inquiry. Fulton County DA Fani Willis announced Thursday that her office has now found credible allegations that serious crimes have been committed by Trump and others connected to Trump. Here's what she said to the Washington Post. The allegations are very serious, the DA says. If indicted and convicted, people are facing prison sentences. Now, before I go any further, why do you think she's saying this to the Washington Post? She is now shaking the tree, seeing what falls out, letting them know we do have enough information to indict, we have enough information to prosecute, and based on what we are going to indict you on, you will go to prison. This is a way to work around some of the rules of engagement when you are a prosecutor. She is talking directly to those involved in the co-conspiracy. Maybe one or more of them will start to actually become a cooperating witness. There's more. A decision, she says, is going to have to be made on whether to ask Trump to testify, and I imagine that's going to be made late this fall. She also made it clear that she put a stop to any grand jury information during the primary election to avoid allegations that she was behaving in a political manner. She will also stop the panel on October 7th to ensure the month prior to the election is quiet. She also said that the probe would be finished calling witnesses by the end of the year. Previously, Willis suggested that the electoral scandal, the pressuring of officials and threats against election officials, could be prosecuted using Georgia's conspiracy and anti-racketeering or RICO laws. The RICO statute allows you to tell jurors the full story of a complex conspiracy, Willis explained. It's a great statute for prosecutors. It is. It's a great statute for prosecutors, horrible for defense attorneys. It basically changes the rules of evidence in a court of law. You can introduce things that normally would not be allowed, but they will be allowed if you charge under the RICO Act. So let me give you some background to this fraud investigation. The scandal began when former President Donald Trump pressured Georgia officials to change the 2020 election results. In a recorded call with Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, who's the chief elections guy, Trump demanded that the Georgia chief elections guy change the vote. He said, find 11,780 votes. That's pretty specific. That's not a general request. The special grand jury has questioned several top Republicans involved in the election and who either directly witnessed what could be considered a conspiracy to commit election fraud. Now, what does conspiracy require? Not much, actually. It requires the meeting of two minds, nothing more. Two minds to commit a criminal act. At one point, Trump's then chief of staff, Mark Meadows, flew down to Atlanta with the demand to speak to election officials. The officials were uncomfortable with Meadows and any administration officials putting pressure on their office, while fully understanding that Trump lost the election according to text messages. So what do we have here? We have a concurrent investigation being ran by a separate grand jury in the state of Georgia. That grand jury, according to the DA, is about to indict some folks. I know she said likely. She's measuring the words. Indictments are coming. Bottom line. Now, will she subpoena Trump? I don't know if it matters that much. I would still subpoena the guy to make sure we have it on the record. But if others can somehow thumb their nose at a subpoena, for example, the governor of Georgia will subpoena. He didn't come. He was able to get a judge to say, let's do it after the election. Maybe Trump will have a similar protection. We don't know. But still, he needs to have a subpoena. All right, Jackson, thoughts here?
So the reality is that even before this came up, Donald Trump and his goons left evidence publicly for all of us to see what he was attempting to do and what everybody in his administration and those who supported him were attempting to do. Even people to this day who are unwilling on his side to come forth and say that he lost the election, including many people in dozens of states across the country who are running for office. So, absolutely indictments are coming, and Donald Trump can't beat all of these cases. And people often forget that Donald Trump frequently loses court cases. He has all throughout his career. So we're going to continue to find out what he and those around him have done underneath the table. And that's going to continue to come out over the months and years to come.
Yeah. For the rest of Trump's life, he will be a defendant of some sort.